you know, I want to quickly mention Todd is God, which is on the table. Both me and Farrell love this book. I know the book isn't written yet, but you're doing the one on Sean Waltman. And maybe I'm out of
Yes.
line asking this question,
No,
but
no.
is Sean guilt? Does he feel guilt over China?
Sean is such an interesting and complex guy, and a great guy, first of all. Um, and you will take a journey in this book through the different stages of Sean's life, through his eyes, and then where he came out and where he is today, which is a very good place. But Sean does, to answer your question, and the phrase that Sean has used that is in the book is, I can't help but I can't say what would have happened if she didn't meet me, but I can tell you she was in a worse place after meeting me than before.
Interesting. Sad story. Too many of them. Here's the
Yeah.
question I always wanted to ask you too. When did you fall in love with wrestling? What do you remember the moment, the second, what it was?
Yeah, I do. Um, for us, I try to explain to people, first of all, being in the entertainment business, people would sometimes, if they heard I owned a production company, I'm working on a film, and the other actors say, "Oh, so you have a production company?" Okay, here it goes. Yes, and hopefully it ended there. What kind? It's interview based professional sports. And hopefully it ended there. And then the third hurdle was, I'd say, listen, you get it or you don't. It's pro wrestling, and then it always ended there. So, uh, so for the layperson who doesn't understand, wrestling for guys our age was what the Marvel films are now. Because the superhero films in the 70s and 80s were goofy. It was Christopher Reeve with with his brajol hanging out and the tight red thing, and you know, it wasn't cool. The Batman series, a little, God love Adam West and Burt Ward, but it was camp. There were no real life superheroes that kids cheered. So the wrestlers were the closest thing to today's Black Panther, Spider Man. So that was the appeal for us.
Mm.
And the moment, Monty, was on a giant black and white television. I guess in like '78, maybe I was like 6, and I was over a friend's house who had older brothers, and they were watching on WWOR at 5 p.m. on a Saturday. They were watching grown men built like superheroes that I would see in the comic books beating the shit out of each other. And then they did a promo by the ring, and superstar Billy Graham held the microphone, looked into the camera, and talked to me because I was frozen. And I said, there was just a sense of, I've never seen anything like this. And that was it. Superstar Billy Graham, 1978, on a big black and white TV. And then I would try to catch it myself when I learned when it was on. And that was it. It was off to the races after that. And once then kind of it morphed into my knowing that there was a charade that was deliberately being hidden from me. And that became very fun. Watching Kamala and saying, I wonder what goes on at home when he returns and his wife is there waiting for him. That kind of thing, going through that. These guys are people, they're regular people. And that illusion was more photos of me with my shirt off. Thank you. Um,
Yeah, back in the day.
yeah. But that's what it was, Monty. It was the real life superhero, larger than life, and to me, always, and I think it's because of our age, it was more important what they did on the stick than in the ring. I don't think I realized what work rate was until I read The Observer when I was 25.
Right.
But I knew that every time there was a Piper's Pit, I wasn't going to miss it.
Mm-hmm.
So I so valued the guys that hooked me with their mouths.
Same here,
Okay,
man.
I found them
Same here.
talking about my days as an altar boy, hooked me with their mouths. But
Oh,
no,
man.
it was very important to me always what these guys did, that charisma. There's nothing like a professional wrestler. I mean, years later, you walk into a locker room, I guess they could be baseball players, they could be wrestlers, they could be catalog models. You walked into a locker room in 1978 with Tony Atlas over there, King Kong Bundy over there, Afa and Sika are over there, the Grand Wizard's sitting over there. Either the circus is in town or this is a professional wrestling locker room.
Right.